He has an uncontrollable narcissism and rage about him when he feels insulted, and it's appealing to the base, and we love it. He's a counterpuncher.
Biden's anger and vitriol and hatred for MAGA is far more worse than President Trump's individual battles with someone who crosses him.
It is, we talk in the millions of votes when we're talking about the general election, but it actually comes down to the tens of thousands, right? The margins in Georgia, in Arizona, in Michigan, and Pennsylvania, it's minute, right? It can be the difference between whether you came out and you criticized your opponent's dress, which some could interpret as demeaning a woman, again, which is obviously something that he suffers from, or just making a little offhanded comment that someone says, you know what, I'm going to sit home, or actually, I want 4 more years of Joe Biden. But he has an uncontrollable narcissism and rage about him when he feels insulted, and it's appealing to the base, and we love it. He's a counterpuncher. But you've now lost a general.
Elections are often won or lost by the slimmest of margins, sometimes just a handful of votes in battleground states like Georgia, Arizona, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. A single reckless remark, an offhand insult, even mocking an opponent's outfit can nudge voters the other way. For a candidate driven by ego and temper, those slip-ups pile up quickly. Supporters may cheer the brawler persona, but in a general election, that same trait can turn toxic, because politics isn't about personalities, it's a battle of ideas. And for years, Fox News has been the stage where those battles turn into primetime spectacle. This time, millions tuned in as Charles Payne, Fox's calm but commanding host, went head-to-head with Jessica Tarlov, the liberal firebrand known for her sharp party-line defenses. What unfolded wasn't just another debate, it was a televised showdown that left audiences.
And I don't think it's narcissism. I think it's, you've lived in New York long enough, it's maybe a New York thing. Someone punches you, you punch it back harder. That's why I grew up in Harlem.
Not if the country's at stake, right?
He became president of the United States with that same personality. I don't think that, listen, I think it's worse with Biden calling MAGA. Biden's anger and vitriol and hatred for MAGA is far more worse than President Trump's individual battles with someone who crosses him. That is something that is really detrimental to this country. That the President of the United States despises half of the United States. President Biden, I said earlier today, about a week ago, I had a segment coming up, so I Googled Biden hates MAGA. Nothing but articles after articles after articles. He has expressed hatred for half
Who's writing those articles?
It doesn't matter.
And it's not.
Because the bottom line is he says it. He has vitriol for them. And so does MSNBC, and so does CNN, and so does the New York Times. They have vitriol for half of the nation. They don't look at them like fellow Americans, and it's unfortunate. They try to paint them as racist. That all the things that they do to their fellow Americans who simply want a safe home, a safe community, for the children to have prosperity, they want the same thing.
Say that he's demeaned half the country. First of all, it's 74 million people that voted for Donald Trump, and he is explicit every time he talks about the MAGA movement to say that this is a subsection of
with both sides laying out their positions in calm tones. But the moment the discussion turned to the economy, failed leadership, and unchecked government overreach, Charles Payne went on the offensive, with precision, steady authority, and an arsenal of facts. He dismantled Jessica Tarlov's arguments piece by piece. Every time she tried to push back, Payne was ready armed with evidence so sharp it left her defenses collapsing in real time. Normally, quick and polished, Jessica began to stumble, her trademark composure slipping under the pressure. What viewers witnessed wasn't a debate, it was a dismantling. Payne wasn't just countering, he was dominating.
This is a different party than I'm used to. I've been around for a while, both in the House and the Senate. It's a different party. And so they can afford more tax cuts for oil companies and for the people who are good people but need them the least. Folks, this Republican Party is not even your father's Republican Party. This is a different breed of cat. And again, you get back on it. As I said, folks, this is not your father's Republican Party. This is not what, in fact, the debate used to be. Later on, the extreme MAGA Republicans in the House of Representatives have made it clear they intend to put it all at risk. This is not your father's Republican Party. These disruptive people. Because this is not your father's Republican Party. I'm not making a moral judgment. I really am not. But this is a different breed of cat. We have virtually no Republicans. get up to as many as 7 or 8 vote. This ain't your father's Republican Party. Not a joke. All you gotta do is look what they played this morning. Allowed the tape that was released. Anyway.
Idea
But what about the people
way that
voting for
Democrats-
him? What about the people voting for
Yeah,
him? He gives
again,
teleprompter speeches.
I-
I mean, you have to understand.
Yes, but he is talking about insurrectionists.
No.
Yes, he is.
No.
Why are they talking about January 6th? And he calls.
He says MAGA like it's a swear word, you know? Instead of a slogan.
If you get called regularly, and
president of the
Democrats do
United States.
thugs,
He's a commander.
pedophiles,
Why can't he call the border a crisis while he's denigrating and castigating America? No, the voters aren't talking about that, Jessica. Excuse me, respectfully, the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, went to Philadelphia a year and a half ago with a Marine posted behind him.
I saw.
And gave a decidedly political speech where he insulted
This wasn't just another policy exchange. It was clarity versus confusion, strength versus fragility, truth versus spin. Then came the defining moment. Charles Payne unleashed a line so sharp and precise that the entire panel fell silent. Jessica Tarlov froze, her stunned expression betraying a defeat she couldn't hide. This wasn't merely a win, it was a match. Payne showed what it means to stand firm, expose hollow narratives, and slice through the noise of political theater. Viewers don't just crave arguments, they want truth to rise above the chaos. And in this clash, Payne didn't just win, he obliterated.